Now Yates can be picked at this stage where they've turned mostly orange with a little bit of greenish on the underside, and then brought inside to ripen fully. And I'll show you how to do that using ethanol later on in this video. But yeah, this is a ripe Yates, golf ball size, hefty. So this is a perfectly ripe Yates just off the tree. It's about golf ball size, and you'll see the calyx separates naturally from the fruit when it becomes like jelly. This is the one I'm going to be eating momentarily. Alright, so the first persimmon I'd like to talk about is my 11-year-old tree of Yates. Now Yates is a cultivar that was either bred or discovered by someone named Ed Yates in Kentucky. It makes these large golf ball sized fruits when it finally comes into its stride of bearing, and they are one of my very favorite flavors. Now Yates is a relatively mild persimmon as American persimmon flavor goes, but I find that it is a very agreeable flavor that a lot of people take to rather easily. And you can see the flesh inside is very jelly-like. And this is typical of American persimmon, this basically jelly on the inside. Beautiful looking fruit, it's firm, it's not mushy, it doesn't splat when it hits the ground. And you can see that she fruits without seeds when you have no males present. So they fruit what is called parthenocarpically, meaning they just make fruit when there's no pollen around, which is very nice. It means you don't have to have a fruit full of seeds. Now the inside of the fruit is very jelly-like, and that's pretty much the texture you should expect from an American persimmon is jelly. But the flavor is what these guys are about. They're different from Asian persimmons, and the flavor these are really sweet. Really sweet. It's like a mixture of sweet potato and apricot dipped in some sort of honey. That's the type of sweetness to expect from these. They're very, very sweet. Now it's actually hard to overemphasize how sweet these can be. They are a very sweet fruit. You'll find that kids love them. It's like nature's candy, very much so. This is a fruit for people who have a sweet tooth, for sure. Now, like pawpaws, persimmons are shaking trees. You can sometimes shake them and get fruit. You'll hear it fall. You can see after shaking, he's dropped a couple fruits into the soft grass here. It's better to pick them a couple days prematurely, but this method is good if you only plan on eating them the day of. So what I've done is I've sealed in this container 2 underripe fruits, and you can't eat them when they're underripe because they're full of tannins. Tannins pucker up the mouth, they cause very unpleasant bitter sensations. And what you do is you take your fruits, put them in a container, and then you take the cheapest vodka that you can find, dribble a drop or 2 on each fruit, and then seal the container up for maybe 2 to 3 days until the tannins disappear, basically. And that's how you take a astringent persimmon and make it a ripe persimmon. And you can see I packed them tightly into these containers. You really only need a couple drops of ethanol per fruit, so you'll get a lot of mileage out of a bottle of vodka with these things. I'm up in the canopy of my tree getting some gratuitous fruit shots. These are about 5 days from being ripe.